everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ellis and I enjoy doing reviews. I enjoy reviewing everything from products to food, coffee, makeup, and pretty much everything in between that you can find at your local grocery store or drugstore, thrift store, anywhere. One thing that I find fascinating that maybe I haven't talked about quite as much on this channel, though maybe alluded to, is advertisements. I think advertising is very interesting. I think trying to sell people products and how, companies will go about doing this is just kind of fascinating because I don't know if people know this, but a lot of money and time is put into some of these advertisements to try to, get people to look at them, get people to think about them, associate a product with a certain, lifestyle, feeling, image, what have you. But yeah, I find the whole thing fascinating, and I feel as though it's kind of a dying art. Thanks to the advent of AI and no longer having to pay models to do photo shoots or to kind of endorse a product, I feel like advertising is going to kind of move in a different direction, and I don't know exactly where that direction is going to be headed. But I think, the old school advertisements are just they're fascinating and they're really neat to kind of like break down and look at. In particular, for me anyway, eye products. I really think that eye products and makeup in general, the advertisements for it, are they're very curious. Some of the models and what they do and how they have the model present the product and look in the advertisement while assuming they are wearing the product, it's a very, very curious thing to me what they'll have them do. And today I wanted to look at a few pretty old school advertisements, in particular for mascara. These would be in magazines that were produced in like the 2016 through 2017 years. In Cosmopolitan. So yeah, let's check them out. So without asking how I have these, I promise there's no hoarding collection. I had these old magazines in a box and I pulled them out and was like, oh wow, these are from a while ago. It's very curious to kind of look back at old advertisements and kind of see, what their thought processes were behind them. And so you can see I have an old Cosmopolitan. Let's take a look and see what the mascara advertisements look like. Oh, here's the first one right away. So we got right here a CoverGirl mascara advertisement, and I've generally found in these magazines there's like one to like maybe two or three mascara advertisements. I don't know if there's like a limit that you want to put in any single magazine. Maybe some companies don't want their mascara alongside another company's, advertisement for their mascara. So it's always very curious to me how many advertisements you'll find in these magazines. But as you can see, she is wearing the CoverGirl mascara and some pretty heavy eyeliner. She's absolutely gorgeous, but one thing I noticed right away is the sort of blank, expressionless expression on her face. And this, I feel like, is absolutely on purpose. If you're gonna do sort of an eye makeup, advertisement, you're gonna want to get close up to the model's face. You want people to be looking, at her eyes, not at her lips or like kind of anywhere else in the photograph. You want them to just be wholly focused on her eyes and what the product is doing for her eyes. I just thought it was very curious though that her eyes, instead of sort of being sharp and focused, maybe looking directly like head on at the camera, or maybe even slightly tilted but still looking very sharply at the camera, she is looking at the camera but sort of like she's looking past the camera, like she's daydreaming. You wouldn't look at her and think that she's about to go and do something very important. She kind of just looks like you randomly caught this person, and took their picture while they weren't really aware of it. And maybe that's what they were going for. I mean, that might be the look that these brands are going for, because as you'll see in different brands, you'll find the same kind of look on these models' faces. So you have to feel like it's on purpose, because they give direction, I'm sure, to the models to tell them, you know, how they want them to look and how they want them to display their product, so to speak. So yeah, very interesting. This was a 2-page ad, by the way, as you can see it. The mascara kind of goes around her head there, you know, from the first page. So yeah, it's an interesting ad. I do like it, and it does draw attention to her immediately, but at the same time, it's just kind of, I feel like it was a little bit lacking in her expression. Okay, so here's the second ad. Again, it's a 2-page ad. Get up on screen here. It's a 2-page ad, okay? And as you can see on basically the main page here, we have another close-up of her eyes and her very, very long lashes, which I'm assuming is one of the things they're saying you're gonna get from this product is really, really long, full lashes. But as you can see, it's still kind of the same blank, same sort of looking past the camera, though she is this time head on with the camera look. And she kind of has the same look on her face right here, though I do like that they showed you a pose of her at a distance, and kind of, I think it's a really clever ad because she's sitting, you know, or kind of leaning on these stairs or against a railing that almost kind of mimics the lash, and kind of alludes to the strength of the product, that it's gonna last a long time, you know, much like the metal railing she's leaning against or sitting on or whatever it is. I think it's a very clever ad. I think it's a very good ad, but I am very curious because this is a different company than the CoverGirl. It's Maybelline. So yeah, same kind of up close, very distant looking model, and just, you know, kind of almost out of it look on her face. There's an interesting difference between the eye makeup look and the lip look, which for me, I would personally think that the look in her eyes, the very sharp, determined look that she has, would actually maybe work a little better for the mascara ads, though as you can see, this is a lipstick ad for Urban Decay. And I mean, it's a very striking woman. She's very beautiful. Her lips are gorgeous. They look amazing in that color. But because of her eyes, it almost kind of draws your attention up away from the lips to sort of her expression up here. It's just something curious I find in these magazines. You'll often see a model with more of actually like an expression on her face in these lipstick ads, as opposed to like a mascara ad where the expression kind of radiates from the eyes, in my opinion. We have another magazine here, and I believe this one is from 2017. Again, you know, kind of the distant past at this point, but oh, okay, and right away we have another CoverGirl ad. This one, again, is a 2-pager. You know, you see the model up front here, and you see the product over there. And again, she has very, very full, very pretty lashes. I'm assuming this product is for more fullness in the lashes as opposed to length. So that's kind of interesting there. But again, kind of a distant, far off, not quite there, not quite looking directly at the camera look on her face there. Which, again, it probably just trying to draw attention to the eyes, but you could easily do that if she had even the minutest expression on her face. So I'm very curious to understand, you know, why they would think that would sell their product better than, you know, a model who was like kind of giving you something else to work with. And maybe that's the point. Maybe they don't want a model to be kind of almost glaring at the camera. Maybe that makes the product look a little too, you know, jarring, maybe too harsh. People might not respond well to that sort of thing. So this is from Urban Decay again, but you can see on her face there actually is an expression. There's almost like this attitude that kind of comes out. And I will say with this ad, it's a little bit better because your eyes are more drawn to her lips and kind of to the product that she's wearing, as opposed to her eyes, which you might almost say are covered up by that piece of hair that fell down in her face. I guess it's raining or something, but you could see again just that look on her face, and it's true for other ads for other things like for skincare and stuff. They'll all have kind of an expression of some kind on their face, but when it comes to mascara, they just look completely blank. Okay, so I found the second one. I swear these magazines are like 90% ads, 10%, real articles. But again, yes, it is the let's see, it's again another Maybelline ad, and as you can see, it's a 2-pager, and again, just the expressionless look on her face. In fact, this one, she's kind of looking up and away from the camera, so it's really emphasized in this picture here. Has a little thing that says boss, but yeah, it's just the same kind of blank, expressionless look. I assume, again, trying to showcase the eyes, but our attention because of that is kind of drawn everywhere else in the picture other than where you would probably want it most. Just kind of an interesting little thing that I've noticed. The last magazine, again, it is another it's another 2016 Cosmopolitan magazine. Pretty much all ads in the magazine, but this one had a little bit of a different one that I wanted to show you guys, if I can find it again. Okay, a little bit different because you got the guy in here, and it's a Revlon ad. It's a Revlon mascara ad, and you can see her face up close, and she's wearing, I'm assuming, the product, or we want to believe she's wearing a product because it makes her eyes look gorgeous. But again, that same blank, that same emptiness in her eyes, though this time she is smiling. So, I think it's kind of to promote the love story kind of feel that they got going on here. Maybe this was like during Valentine's Day, which could very well be. But yeah, she has that same kind of empty look on her face, and just the same kind of like non-expression on her eyes. I found another one on the back here. This one's from L'Oreal, and this one, she probably has the most expression out of any of them. While still kind of being empty, she at least kind of looks a little bit like she's got something going on upstairs. This was just found on the back of the magazine here, and yeah, again, very, very gorgeous eyes, but just kind of at the same time empty and not really drawing your attention to the product in the way that you might think a mascara would want to do. Now, 2016, 2017 was a really long time ago, and I would be curious to see in a more current magazine, what their approach is to trying to sell mascara these days. Will they actually have expressions on their faces, or will it just be more dramatic colors and bold lashes and, but that same kind of emptiness to their face and eyes? I don't know. I should maybe check it out, and if I do, I will get back to you guys and let you know my thoughts. Anyway, thank you for watching this strange video. I was just kind of in the mood to do something different, and this had always kind of bothered me, and I just thought I would share with you guys what my thoughts were on, at least that aspect of advertising for mascara. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you later. Bye.